we go.
Alright, y'all. It's Braun Huge Neck here, and I got these goons next to me trying to convince me of something ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm Lady Lazarus.
I'm John.
We couldn't find a more interesting person, so we brought along John.
Hi, guys.
You want to tell them what you're arguing for?
No,
Why not?
because I don't have an argument.
You have no argument?
No, my argument is perfectly. There's nothing to argue about.
Okay.
Pollution is bad for the environment.
Why?
I'm not the one who has to provide this ridiculous argument.
The burden of proof is on me?
Of course it is.
Okay.
It's on both of you.
Well, here's the thing, though, because it's not that we don't think that pollution isn't bad. We think that pollution is good for the environment.
How is
It's
pollution
not only good for the
environment?
environment, it's good for people's psychological health.
It is.
Let me ask you something. Do you feel better when it's warm out or better when it's cold out?
It doesn't matter.
Would you prefer that it was warm outside?
How warm are we talking?
Let me tell you something. It's been getting warm lately.
Yeah.
It has been getting warm
The
lately.
national global temperatures are on the rise, my friend, and everything's looking up right now.
It's because it's good for it's good for people.
Okay.
People prefer to be drowning in sweat rather than freezing and dead. It's a good thing.
You know, some people call us a climate change denier, but I prefer to be called
A climate change promoter.
A climate change applier. High five.
True. Okay. It's also good for homeless people because they don't have access to showers a lot. And so when acid rain starts coming down, it clears the dirt off, no problem.
There's nothing that clears the pores better
Than
than
acid
a little bit of acid rain.
It's
But
true.
The thing about that is
That's two good things so
it's
far.
pretty easy
Yes.
to clean the pores when your whole arm is 4 pores.
Your
Your whole arm
Who has
is
4 pores on an arm?
you do when you get acid rain
So
on.
far, I'm not convinced that pollution is bad. I still think pollution is good.
Pollution is awful. It kills millions of turtles a year.
So let's do this. Why
Okay.
is
You know that.
But it saves the ducks.
Doesn't save any ducks.
Uh-huh.
How does it save a duck?
Well, okay. We've got a duck surplus in the supermarkets right now because they keep getting trapped in trash.
all those fucking
That's-
ducks in the
And
supermarket?
then we get
that's
to eat
bad.
them.
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
No, it's bad.
Come Thanksgiving, everyone starts buying ducks, right?
That's
No.
almost as effective as dynamite
It's true.
in the water because
Mhm.
you're fishing.
You ever fish with dynamite?
Yeah,
The fuse goes out.
it does.
You ever consider that?
We would have a really, really effective economy if everyone just smoked meth constantly.
Whoa! How does meth
That's
have
true.
anything to
Well,
do
if
with
people,
That's
were,
true.
if people were smoking meth, it's going to go into the stratosphere, right, and start coming
That's
back down in the rain.
Why
People
don't-
are just going to be constantly
Okay,
buzzed, getting
but-
everything done.
Yeah.
Why don't we just pour meth in the water?
Sure.
That's ridiculous.
That sounds great.
That's
to me.
ridiculous. That'll kill all the plants.
That sounds.
How-
Fuck the plants.
how-
We're human
how can-
beings.
how
You're a
can you-
genius.
how
Pour
can you-
meth in the. How did you think of that? That's amazing.
How can you drive? How can society function if there's everyone's just
We don't need to
super
drive.
high on?
We don't
How do
need
you
to,
function?
We don't need to drive. We get rid of the roads.
All right,
we let
all
the
right,
acid rain take
Alright,
care
so
of that.
No. So we're not there yet.
This
Like,
guy's a visionary.
we're not there yet. Like
I'm blind, but
you
yeah.
pour the meth in the water, right?
Uh-huh.
Pour the meth in the water.
How often do you pour the meth
Is
in
this
the
your
water?
face?
Who's gonna be able to pour the meth in the water if everyone's too high on meth?
No, while they're too high on meth, that would be the only thing that they ever do. They'd be so hyper-focused on it.
No, that's ridiculous. You think I would be so bored if my life
You know what?
consisted of pouring meth into the fucking
I think
water.
the
It's
only
high
thing we should do is
balls.
just give him more meth though, because that would make him more functional.
Uh-huh.
More meth, more functional.
Okay. Let me
It's,
give you a
it's
little
like a double negative.
Let me give you
No.
a little hypothetical
It's a
here.
double negative.
No, it's ridiculous.
So
Okay.
so no, it's double negative logic. If you give someone meth and they're not functional, that's one negative. Give them more meth. That's two negatives. Two negatives make a positive. So we need more meth.
True.
You cannot argue
Riddle
with that logic.
Riddle me this, Joker, okay?
He fucking thought he solved this shit. Look at this idiot.
What?
That is solved.
Let's
Look at that.
Let's stay away from the ad hominem
That
attacks. All right? Let's be reasonable about
Perfect.
this.
Riddle, you put down my dog. You're
What the hell is that thing?
You're a dirty
What the hell?
climate change promoter.
No, applier. I'm a climate change applier.
You
Get it
apply,
right.
What do you apply it to?
I apply climate change to the climate.
When ExxonMobil crashed and dumped millions of gallons of oil into the ocean, it made the ocean more viscous, therefore more fun to swim in. Also, it gave all the fish things to eat.
I remember swimming in that ocean.
That
That was
was-
pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
It can only be positive.
Yeah.
No wonder you're missing all your brain cells if you swam in that ocean.
Swimming
because that's awful for you. You're being
I don't think
clogged by oil.
I don't think you've ever swum.
Raw
in the
oil.
Do you even know how to swim?
You don't. That's the thing. You don't need to swim when you're in oil. You float to the top.
It sounds great to me.
Can we?
Saves money on buoyancy.
Can I say a little word about the ozone layer?
Yeah.
Who needs it?
The ozone argument.
Yeah, who needs an ozone layer?
It's true.
More like a bozo layer. Am I right?
Yeah.
High five.
True.
Ahaha.
We need it because it stops harmful radiation. I think it's the UV light. It stops UV rays.
Everyone will be tan. There will be no more suffering.
Everyone will get cancer and be miserable.
Everyone will get cancer. There will be no more suffering after a certain point.
It's true. It's
Mhm.
true.
But then
you gotta
how,
think about
but
this
no,
when
no,
you
just think about that.
Yeah,
utilitarian
you can't
perspective.
suffer when you're dead.
But yeah,
True.
and you can't also create climate change when you're dead either.
Oh shoot, you're right.
Okay, well there would still be the infected ducks
Well,
around.
meth keeps you
Maybe
alive.
ducks would
No?
become the super race that then continues our legacy of pollution. That could be good.
I don't think
Yeah.
ducks would do as good a job as you would.
Why? They've got opposable thumbs.
No, they don't.
Sure
They have wings. What are they gonna burn?
Red
with
Bull
wings?
has wings, not ducks.
What are they gonna do with it? Why are they?
The only thing
This is stupid. You guys are stupid.
No.
It doesn't matter about ducks.
I like
Climate
your,
change
hold
is
on, though.
bad.
Hold on though. I
No,
like
climate
your,
change is
hold
bad.
on though.
No, this
hold
is
on,
stupid.
Though. Hold on. I like your idea about
Thanks.
the ducks.
Yeah.
The only problem is that they can't use aerosol cans like we can.
Okay.
That's the only problem with that.
But they weigh as much as a witch.
So they're witches.
No. If they weigh
That's
weigh as much as a witch, then we might as well turn them into witches, right?
Oh.
And on top of that, they'll be able to swim in this
What?
incredibly viscous ocean,
No.
and so there will be no more witches after that point.
How does that? That doesn't even make sense.
That makes 100%
You said you were gonna
sense.
turn the ducks into witches.
Into
and then-
witches.
and then they will be able to swim.
They'll be
That's genius.
able to swim.
We should start a petition.
Mm-hmm.
We should be one of those people
Mm-hmm.
that do petitions.
True.
What would the ducks, right? Oh shoot.
I mean, you worship fire, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So by that religious doctrine, you must continually worship fire. You must do it, every 5 hours per day, right? You wake up, you worship. You fall asleep, you worship. You continue to burn things down. You continue to create, ash and other little carbon molecules and other forces of destruction for the ozone layer. People continue to get tan. The environment continues to get warmer. People are having a great freaking time. It's like water world everywhere.
Yeah, and then everyone dies.
And
There's so much misery that comes from cancer.
then
all
there's
those
no
bad
more
things.
suffering. The
That's
human
not how it
race
works.
ends. It's
That's not how it works.
It's an entirely positive
Just
outcome.
because suffering ends doesn't mean there was suffering to be had at that point. So even from a utilitarian perspective,
At some point.
that doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because from a utilitarian perspective, there has to be the potential for suffering in order to count that in the equation, so to speak.
We live in a cruel, cruel world, dude. The dinosaurs
know.
were demolished by a single asteroid. Suffering is a natural part.
Let me ask you this.
But it's necessary
That's what I'm
because
saying, though. You
it brings
can't-
the end of suffering.
Hold on.
No.
I want to play this philosophy.
The
game
end
with
of
you.
suffering does not mean that there is necessarily a positive change in the
Hold
net
on.
suffering.
Hold on. Okay, so the average life probably as much happiness as suffering, right? So utilitarian-wise, we get rid of all life. The net outcome is the same.
No, it's not.
Let's hail
The
for our
absence,
duck
the,
tyrants.
the absence of suffering does not mean that there is no suffering. It just means there is nothing. You can't qualify. You can't put that in your equation.
But utilitarianism, according to utilitarian, I take it you're a utilitarian,
No,
right?
you are.
Well,
You guys are
Kantian.
both arguing from utilitarian.
So what are you
perspective.
then if you're not a utilitarian?
Doesn't matter.
If you're a Kantian, then
just
every-
get
I'm a goddamn American.
no. If you're okay, let me ask you this: can you tell one duck from another duck?
Yes.
No, you can't. Now,
Can you tell one Asian
I
from
know.
another Asian?
So earlier you said you're a Kantian. Did
No,
you
I
not?
never said that.
You said you were. We have it on tape.
Yeah.
Earlier you said.
I'm an American, goddammit.
Earlier you said
I'm
you're
not a
Kantian.
Kantian.
You're a Kantian.
I'm not a cunt.
You're a cunt.
I'm an American.
You're such a cunt. You really are a cunt. You're the biggest cunt I've ever seen in my life. So he's a cunt, right? We've established that. And so you can't tell ducks from one. Who is more best to fit the ontological standard of Kantian ethics than ducks who do not differentiate between one another? One duck is not different from another. They all behave the same way.
What do these ducks have to do with
That's
pollution?
Kantian.
What do they have to do with pollution?
You should become a Kantian. And if you're really going to be a Kantian, and I know you are,
I'm an American.
you're a Kantian.
I'm an American.
You're a Kantian. You're an American cunt. Okay?
I don't know about that.
It's actually a pretty good name.
American cunt.
The American cunt. Smells like weed in here.
Yeah, it's the neighbors.
Smells like wine.
It's those goddamn hippies next door.
Yo, Simon, do you want to let out some aerosol in a bit?
Yeah, why don't
Sure.
you guys go pollute somewhere else? I'm out of here.
All right.